Infill development refers to planning for and enabling new housing forms in older areas of our community. It can take a variety of different forms, from very small-scale types of housing like garage and garden suites or basement suites to very high-rise buildings and everything in between. Edmonton is growing extremely rapidly, and we're undergoing a lot of change as a community. Over the next decade, we'll grow by another 170,000 people. Over that time frame, we need to find the best ways forward to accommodate new families and new communities across our city, and that includes both our established neighborhoods and our new developing ones. Infill is a great way to renew our existing communities. It renews the housing stock, it brings in more diversity of housing types and forms, and with that, it's really about enabling communities to thrive and adapt over time.
We realized that we needed a more coordinated approach to how we dealt with infill in Edmonton. We needed to get together with our partners in the community, in the development industry, as well as with the city staff who dealt with infill in order to comprehensively talk about infill, what the challenges are and what we could do moving forward. Because we didn't have any idea really in mind of what the solutions might be, the actions in the roadmap could flow naturally from what we heard and learned over the course of the project. Evolving Infill was a three-step process. Step one was a giant citywide conversation where we invited people to share their infill stories, whether they lived in infill, whether they built infill, or whether they would like to live in one of our mature neighborhoods in the future. In step two of Evolving Infill, we took everything that we learned in step one on all the stories, and we handed it over to the Infill Action Collaborative, which was a group of 30 individuals from our communities, from the development industry, as well as city staff who dealt with infill. We asked them to use the stories from step one, as well as their own experiences, to provide a series of recommendations of actions that the city and its partners could take together to support more and better infill. Step three of Evolving Infill involved writing the draft of Edmonton's infill roadmap and taking it out to the public to make sure that we were on the right track, as well as to ask the public to help us to identify some of the priority actions.
Edmonton's infill roadmap was presented to Executive Committee of Edmonton City Council in August of 2014. It is a 2-year work plan, so we have 23 action items in the work plan, and so far, a year later, we've implemented half of the action items in the roadmap. And we anticipate that all 23 action items will begin by the end of 2016. Edmonton's infill roadmap is a team effort. It's just not one department with the city, but many departments. There's also many other organizations that we're partnering up to successfully implement the Edmonton's infill roadmap. This is a good starting point for us to have the conversation about infill in the city.
Infill development isn't just about putting new houses into older communities. It's about fostering the social sustainability of our entire city. Our mature neighborhoods are poised for change. Change is already happening, and the quest that we're on together with our partners is how to make that the best possible change that we can. We're building a big city here, a great city, and infill is a critical component in making that happen.